everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm making beef empanadas. Actually, in Puerto Rico, we don't even call them empanadas. We call them empanadilla and pastelillo. But I'm not getting into that whole debate of what's an empanadilla, what's a pastelillo. I'm not even making that. Those are usually fried. Empanadas are baked. So I'm going to bake these. The main ingredient you need for empanadas is the dough. You can actually use pie crust for the empanadas. So I'm using leftover pie crust that I have frozen. I mean, if you want to use store-bought, you can always use store-bought pie crust. But if you want to make it from scratch, I have a video for this dough. So you can go follow that video. It's my pumpkin pie video. Once you have your crust, the next step is just choosing the filling for the empanada. Now I mentioned I'm going to make meat empanadas. So I already have my meat made. I am going to show you how I made this, but it's really important that you prepare your filling ahead of time. You want your filling to be completely cooled down before you start putting the empanadas together. As a little bonus, I'm also making corned beef empanadas and I'm making pork empanadas. These are all my leftovers from a bunch of previous videos. I just cook in batches and I freeze my food. And I figured if I'm making empanadas, I'm making the beef empanadas, I might as well make other type of empanadas and see how they turn out. So I had corned beef and pork in my freezer and I thought, why not? Worst case, I don't like them, it'll be fine. Well, before I start rolling out the dough and preparing it for the little empanadas, let me show you how I make the meat. Well, that's the meat. I just put it in a bowl after I cooked it. I let it cool and then I put it in the fridge. So now that our filling is done, let's start working with the dough. Now the first thing I'm gonna do is roll this dough out and cut it into small circles to start preparing the empanadas. I don't have it, so there's like, they sell little empanada molds. I don't have that, so I'm using a bowl to trace my empanadas. I'm just gonna roll out the dough, I'm gonna place my bowl, and then I'm gonna cut out the circles, and we'll see how many empanadas I get. I should get maybe 6. We'll see. Okay, well, I'm done preparing the empanadas. I mentioned that I thought I would get 6 out of the dough. I got 5, which isn't too bad. So I made 3 beef, 1 corned beef, and 1 pork. There's 1 empanada, the first one I made, that I'm a little bit worried about. I was being very ambitious and I thought that I could just stuff it and just pack it with a lot of meat, and then it wasn't closing well and it seemed like the dough was breaking a little bit. So I'm not feeling too confident about this one. That's why I made 2 other beef and then 1 pork and one corned beef. But yeah, they're ready for the oven. I put a little egg wash on top just for color, but I'm gonna let these cook at 425 degrees for about 20 minutes. All of the fillings are already cooked, so it's just a matter of baking the dough and just heating up the inside. So let me put these in the oven and I'll show you what they look like in 20 minutes. There are a lot of different smells in this kitchen right now. I'm so confused. Part of it smells like ground beef. Another part smells like pork. The pork is really strong, the pork smell. It smells delicious, but it's just the competing smells between ground meat and pork. And then the pie crust, it's very confusing for my nose. They look pretty good. I think I could have done a little bit better crimping the edges. They look very homemade, very rustic, but I am fine with that. They still look good. They're golden, they have a nice color, they're crispy. You can hear the crisp on the dough, so that's good. So I'm pretty sure I have to let these cool down a little bit. I can't just bite into them or I'm just gonna burn my entire mouth. So I just wanna show you the bottom of the empanadas. There are no soggy bottoms here. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's crispy and baked all the way through. Okay, well I have some coffee and I'm ready to cut into the meat empanada. Oh, it's still steaming. It smells so good. Oh. The crust. This crust is so good. You should just make the crust. I can eat this crust by itself. The filling is great. I love mincemeat. I knew the meat was good, but this pie crust. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this empanada. But there you have it. Meat empanadas with a bonus of corned beef and pork empanada. I really hope you try some empanadas. You probably have a lot of leftovers from the holidays or just, you know, regular weekly leftovers in the fridge, which would go great inside the empanadas. I've seen fish empanadas, I've seen rice empanadas, potato empanadas, so you can really put anything inside the empanada. Let me know if you try them. Let me know if you like them and if you do anything different with the recipe. As always, if you're subscribed to my channel, thank you. If you're not subscribed but you're liking the content, please subscribe, like the video, and share if you really like the recipes. Bye.